Hi students, welcome to your third practice for Yoga 1. So we're going to start seated again. You'll see I'm seated on a folded blanket so that my hips are just slightly more elevated. You can sit up on your bolster or whatever you're using for a bolster if you'd like to be up a little bit higher. Your legs don't have to be folded just as mine are, but be somewhere where you can find some length through your spine. Give your hands somewhere to rest. We're going to start with a new pranayama form in today's practice called Ujjayi. You'll see in the list of terms from their practice how these words are spelled. But again, to say it, Ujjayi, Ujjayi breath. And this translates to victorious breath, which doesn't really help you to remember how to do the pranayama form. You'll often hear Ujjayi referred to as snoring breath or whispering breath or even Darth Vader breath, and you'll see why in a minute. So to start getting us towards Ujjayi, just practice whispering he or e on your inhale and ha or ah on your exhale. So just like this. So that's the sound you want to make. But now to really do Ujjayi, you're going to close your lips and you're going to have to constrict your throat down, which it'll sort of happen naturally, but that constriction down of the throat is going to help you to still make that sound even without moving your mouth and your lips around. So we're inhaling and exhaling through our nose, trying to make that e and ah or he and ha sound as we do it. So try it along with me. If you can't get the sound at all, that's okay, keep trying. If you can only get the sound on the exhale, that's pretty common. The exhale is usually the easiest one to get it. So maybe you're making a silent inhale through your nose and then making an ah or a ha sound on your exhale. So let's try it for a few moments and see how it goes. Ujjayi breath. You could just come back to breathing normally. So the reason why we want that sound and the whole purpose of Ujjayi breath is the added sound gives you something to concentrate on and to easily notice if your breath gets faster or slower, or if the inhale and the exhale are not of equal length. So we do want in Ujjayi breath the inhale and the exhale to be equal in length. And ideally, we're striving for a 3 to 4 second inhale and a 3 to 4 second exhale. Now, it'll probably take a little practice to get it up to that. When I cue in class, we're usually closer to maybe 2 to 3 seconds, but we're striving towards that 4 seconds eventually, just because that's what is traditionally done in an Ashtanga Vinyasa practice, which you'll learn more about that later. You don't really need to remember that, but it's our original flowing yoga practice. And so you're striving for that 4 second inhale and exhale with Ujjayi. So the sound, it's really easy to notice. If it's happening, if it's stopped, if your breath has gotten really fast. And if you notice that, that's a good indication that it's time in your practice to take a break, to take a rest, get your breath back at an even rate and calm it back down if it's gotten too quickly or too fast. and then come back into the practice. So it's always okay as you're doing these practices to modify things, do things a little bit differently. Maybe you have to leave something out because it's not working for your body or for you on this particular day. Or maybe you just need to rest a few minutes and then come back. Do finish the practice kind of at that one time. Avoid starting and doing 15 minutes of practice and then pausing your video and saying, oh, I'll come back to it tomorrow. You still want to go through the whole practice because there is a progression. We're warming you up. We're going towards our peak postures or asanas and then ending with a relaxation. But if you find, okay, I need 5 minutes to chill out in the middle, pause your video, take that time and come back. Hopefully you don't find that you need more than a few breaths to rest as we go through, but especially as we're beginning, if you need longer, take longer. So anyways, back to Ujjayi. You know why we have this sound. Also, that constricting down of the throat, which helps to make the sound, is important. It's helping to warm and to clean the air as it's coming down into your lungs. You can think of them as sort of like fibers, or just like you have hairs in your nose that help clean the air as it comes into your nose and catch the dirt and the impurities. You have fibers in the throat that do the same thing. So if you are constricting down the throat, those fibers are getting into more of the air and cleaning it a little bit better, warming it a little bit better as we go. Ujjayi is challenging. It's going to take some practice to get for most of us. So as we start to move through practice, I'm going to be reminding you to come back to that Ujjayi breath. Eventually, you want to maintain this breath pattern through our flowing yoga practices, but that's going to take definitely some time to get there. For now, if Ujjayi doesn't make any sense to you, you can't make it happen, spend some time practicing just the breath pattern on its own. But then in our practices, just practice Samavriti, even breath, what we did in our last practice. Even inhale and exhale, and maybe that's through your nose, maybe you need to exhale through your mouth sometimes, that's okay. But try to start layering in Ujjayi as we go. So with that, we'll get ready to start our asana practice. Make sure you have your props handy. We definitely will use the strap today, so make sure you have that, a couple blocks, a blanket or towel, something you can fold up to sit on or maybe use for cushioning under your knees, and then also some sort of cushion, bolster, maybe it's just another blanket to make it a little bit taller. That's certainly fine. So as we start today, you're welcome to stay seated in Sukhasana if you would like, or I'm going to introduce you another starting shape today, seated warrior. This position, you're going to come onto your knees. Bring your heels together. Your feet are going to be flat, so they're going to be just like this on the mat. You don't want to tuck your toes under. Feet are flat and you're sitting back on your heels. Your hands can rest in your lap. Maybe you fold them one in the other. That's really up to you. Now for this position, it might not be comfortable for you. If it's almost comfortable, you can take your blanket or your towel and maybe put it behind the knees to give the knees a little support, and that's going to elevate you a little bit. And if it's comfortable now, great, stay here. If this still is not comfortable, go ahead and resituate yourself, maybe sit back how you were a moment ago. That's totally fine. But if this seated warrior is position, we'll start here today. Is comfortable. If it's a comfortable position for you, we'll start here today. This position is also called thunderbolt or diamond. So if you're looking around for it and you can't find it, keep those in mind. On our course website, I do list all three of those names, so hopefully you can find it. Let the eyes close or take an easy gaze. And just start to focus in on your breath. For right now, just breathe in whatever way is comfortable. And as an intention for today's practice, I'll invite you to think about the yama ahimsa. Ahimsa means non-harming or non-violence. And so this yama is reminding us definitely not to be violent, not to harm others. and also not to harm ourselves. And so at surface value, you might think, well, this is, again, a pretty easy yama. I'm not going out and murdering anyone. I'm not punching people or getting into fistfights. But think about other ways. Beyond that physical violence, are there other ways you might be harming someone? Again, there are lots of ways to take this. Oftentimes, our anger and frustration can lead to harm. We're yelling at someone else or we're putting them down. Emotional harm is just as important to avoid as physical harm. Maybe you expand ahimsa beyond yourself and the people around you to animals. Are you trying your best not to harm animals where you can avoid it? And so for a lot of yoga practitioners, that means not eating animals, not wearing animal products or using them. And so maybe you take steps in that direction. Maybe that doesn't resonate with you today, and that's okay. Maybe instead you decide to volunteer in an animal shelter or at a rescue center. Maybe if you're looking for a new pet, you think about adopting rather than buying. Or maybe you're taking ahimsa towards the environment. Are there more ways that you could not harm the world around you? In relation to our physical yoga practice today, keep ahimsa in mind and aim not to harm yourself. And so that means if something is painful, come out of the posture, try the modifications that I'll give to you. But ultimately, you have to make the judgment call for your own body in this moment, where some discomfort might be okay. We definitely want to avoid pain. So take breaks as you need to, or even leave a couple things out if you find they're not working for you in this moment. Take a breath in. And let that breath go. Take a few breaths of ujjayi here. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Inhaling that slight E or he sound. And exhaling ha or ah. One more breath here. Sweep your arms out and up and overhead, blinking the eyes open or raising the gaze. Pull your palms together and down towards your heart, Anjali Mudra. One more breath in, and one more breath out. Reach your hands forward, and I'm going to turn sideways, but you hopefully are already on your mat facing me, so just stay where you are. Reach your hands really far forward and come into child's pose. So your big toes are together, your knees can stay together, or maybe they walk out a little bit wider. It's up to what feels comfortable for you today. Hands are reaching far forward, forehead is down towards the mat. Next time you inhale, reach forward to table, shoulders coming over wrists. Maybe you need to adjust yourself just a little bit. And then reach forward, your elbows are gonna hug close to your body as you lower down to your stomach. Hands are under the shoulders, tops of the feet pressed down. Inhale, cobra. pull your shoulders back and down, chest reaches forward and up, neck is long. Exhale right back down to your mat. Twice more. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale, cobra. Pull the shoulders back. Exhale, lower. Press back to table, hands and knees. And then back to child's pose on your exhale. Take a full breath here. Inhale, come back to table. Exhale, lower to your belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, return to your stomach. One more. Inhale, cobra. Now from here, press into your hands. Push through table and to child's pose. Full breath here. Inhale, table. Exhale to your belly. Just one time now, cobra, inhale. Exhale, child's pose. Press up and back. Full breath here. Inhale, table. Exhale, lower. Cobra, inhale. Child's pose on your exhale. One more time, moving right away. Inhale, table. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Last full breath here. Inhale back up to table. And then set yourself, make sure your knees are right under your hips. Walk your hands a little bit forward so you're in a longer than usual table. Fingers point straight ahead. There's space between your fingers. The whole surface of your hand is pressing down into the mat. Tuck your toes under. Rock your hips a little forward so there's a little arch in the lower back. Press wide through the shoulders. Lift your knees off the mat as you send your hips up and back. Press long through the shoulders, downward facing dog. Relax the head. Bend one knee, press the opposite heel closer to the mat. And switch. Other knee bends, other heel presses. Once more each side. Lift both heels up, bend both knees. Make sure your hips are still reaching high. Melt the heels towards the mat. One more full breath here. Start to walk your feet towards your hands. Bend your knees as you need to. Coming to the top of your mat, knees are slightly bent, head hangs heavy. One breath in. One breath out. Knees bend more. Roll your way up to standing. Head is the last thing to arrive up. Pull the shoulders back and down. Standing tall, Tadasana. So go ahead and check out your Tadasana since it's the first time we're here today. So make sure your feet are pointing straight ahead. Your quads are engaged to pull the knees a little forward. Low belly pulls in, shoulders relax back and down. Breathing in. And breathing out. Arms reach up and overhead, inhale. Dive your chest forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Knees can bend slightly here. Hands either reach to the floor, to your shins, maybe to a block on any height. One more breath here. Bend your knees, roll your way up to standing. Coming back to Tadasana right away. One breath in, one breath out. So now we'll move to a half sun salutation. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale to fold, Uttanasana. Come up halfway, hands to shins or thighs. Inhale, lift, find a long spine. Sit bones reach back behind you, top of the head reaches forward. Exhale, fold forward again. Now come through that long spine. Top of the head leads you up. Inhale, head lifts, arms reach out, and collect overhead. Hands pull to heart center. Exhale. Same thing again, arms reach out and up. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Come up halfway, find a long spine, Ardha Uttanasana. Shoulder blades pull slightly together, so make sure you're not hunched here. Exhale to fold again. Reverse swan dive up. Bend the knees slightly, push down through the feet. Top of the head lifts, arms reach out, palms collect overhead, and exhale, Tadasana. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come halfway up, finding that long spine. Fold again. Bend your knees, bring your hands to the mat. Walk your feet back to downward facing dog. Let the knees bend, let the hips go high, press long through the shoulders. One breath here. Next time you inhale, come forward to plank. Now notice if when you came forward you were really short, like here, feet are too close to hands, go ahead and fix it. Walk your feet back a little bit. Press wide through the shoulders. If this is too much, you can always lower your knees, but keep your hips forward. You don't want to come back here to table. So your modified plank is here, or regular plank on your feet. Everybody now lower your knees. Lower chest, chin. Ashtangasana, so you're a little inchworm shape. Drag your chest forward and up, cobra. Now tuck your toes. Return to downward facing dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale to plank. Hopefully you're at a good distance now. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Pull the chest forward and up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. Walk your feet to your hands. Forward fold. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive all the way up. Inhale. Let's open the arms this time. Tadasana. So that was a full sun salutation, just using Ashtangasana, knees, chest, chin, and cobra. A little bit later today, we will learn some alternative postures that you can do there. Chaturanga Dandasana and upward facing dog. Those of you that have done some yoga before, maybe have done some of those, but we'll take a step back and look at them in real detail so that you know what your alignment's doing. So coming back to Tadasana. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale to fold, Uttanasana. Come up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale to fold, walk to plank this time. Feet reach back, inhale. On your exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out.
Lower your knees to the mat. Big toes together, child's pose. Take a full breath here. Inhale yourself back to table. So we're gonna introduce next three-legged dog. So from downward facing dog, you're gonna lift a leg. If you'd like to just take a moment to watch this and then just rewind your video back and do it with me, that is great if you haven't done it before. So coming to your downward facing dog, remember your knees can stay bent and make sure your sit bones are really reaching up, that you're not starting to curl in the lower back here. Now from here, reach your right leg off the floor and imagine you are stepping that foot on the wall behind you. Your hips are trying to stay level here, so I'm not opening this way. Toes are pointing down, hips are staying level. Three-legged dog. Now pull that right knee in towards your nose, curl your shoulders forward. This is a core plank. Send that leg back up, three-legged dog. Do that one more time, knee to nose. Send it back up. Now this time step that foot as far forward as you can, foot in between the hands. You're in a lunge. Now your foot might not have made it there. Maybe it's back here. That's okay for now. Go ahead and bring your chest up. And as you bring your chest up, you can take a bigger step forward if you need to. Bring your hands to your hips. This back heel stays lifted. Knee points down. You want your feet to be as far apart, ideally, as you can get them, so that you can bend really far in this front knee. You're working towards a 90-degree angle in that right leg. Foot is pointing straight ahead. Knee is pointing straight ahead. Think about your left thigh reaching up to help support you. Now reach your arms up. High lunge. Take a breath. And let that breath go. Reach your hands back down to the mat. Gently lower your back knee. Now if you like some extra cushion under your knee, go ahead and grab your blanket or your towel, slide it under where your knee's gonna go, and come back to your lunge. So left knee's down, grab your blocks, and bring them under your hands. You can untuck that back toe. So find some length through your spine, and you're here in low lunge. Now notice a few things. First, this front leg. You want your knee to be directly over your ankle. If you find it's forward of your ankle, take a bigger step forward with that foot. If you can't reach your blocks here, turn them up, bring them higher. Reach your chest forward. Let your hips sink forward so you feel a stretch on the front of the left hip. This is low lunge because your back knee is down. If we lift the back knee, it's high lunge. Bring your hands to your front thigh and relax the shoulders. Take a breath in and let that breath go. Bring your hands back down to your blocks. Now shift your hips back, straighten your right leg. Bring your blocks back with you, and you might want to turn them up higher if you didn't have them up high yet. Sit bones reach back, spine is long, folding chest over that right leg. So this is often called runner's lunge. Breath in and breath out. One more. Bend back into the right knee. Come back to your low lunge. Tuck your left toes under. Move your blocks off to the side so your hands can come back down to the mat as you lift the left knee. Now see if you can step your right foot back to downward facing dog. If it doesn't make it, you can just lower the knee and go through table on your way back. But see if you can. Pull it back, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. Now if you were watching that, go ahead and join me for the second side right away, and then you can go back and do the right side, or rewind now, do the right side and the left side with me. So from downward facing dog, inhale, reach the left leg up, three-legged dog. Toes point down. Imagine you're standing on the wall behind you. Hips stay level. Pull left knee to nose, hover forward, core plank. Send the leg back up, three-legged dog. Pull knee to nose, hover forward, send it back up. Now step as far forward as you can with that foot. Maybe it comes all the way up in between your hands. You can help it with that left arm if you want. Keep your back heel lifted. Bring your torso up. High lunge. Hands on your hips for now. Big bend in that left knee. Right thigh reaches up to help support you. Make sure that back leg, the knee is pointing straight down. So you don't want to open and let the heel come down. Keep it up. And this is a balance challenge. Reach the arms up. Make sure that front knee and foot are pointing straight ahead. Inhale. Exhale, hands to mat. Gently lower the right knee. Maybe bring your blocks under your hands for low lunge. Let the hips reach forward to feel a stretch on the front of the right hip. Try to relax the shoulders down. Reach the heart forward. Maybe try some Ujjayi breathing here. Inhale and exhale. Bring your torso up. Hands come to the left thigh. Relax the shoulders back. Now, if this bothers your right knee, you can bring the hands back forward. It's okay to stay here. One more breath. Hands come back down. Shift your hips back. Straighten the left leg and flex the left toes back towards your shin. Lengthen out through the spine, so push your sit bones out behind you. Top of the head reaches diagonally up and forward as the chest folds towards the shin. Runner's lunge. Bend your left knee, coming back to low lunge. Move your blocks off to the side. Bring your hands to the mat, tuck your right toes under, lift the right knee, step back to downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Let that breath go. Walk your feet to your hands. Bend your knees. Roll your way up to standing. Standing tall, Tadasana. Now if you pulled your blanket or your towel onto your mat, go ahead and move it off to the side. We won't need it for a few moments. And stay facing me. I'll just turn so that you can see me a little bit better. So we're coming into our first balance posture. Even though you might say, well, high lunge was a little bit of a balance challenge. Yes, but our first one-legged balancing asana now. So bring your hands to your heart. Make sure your right foot is pointing straight ahead. Imagine the toes are spreading wide so you have a nice firm surface, and start to shift your weight onto that right leg. So since I'm facing you, I'm going to be mirroring you. Now lift the left knee. Pull your low belly in. Feel your shoulders right over your hips. Rotate that leg out and bring your foot either to your ankle, your calf, or all the way up to your inner thigh. So your foot can come anywhere along your leg, just as long as it's not pressing into the knee. If your balance is really challenged today, you might even bring your foot all the way down and use your big toe as a little kickstand on the floor. Try not to do this all the time, but you're welcome to. You might also get near a wall, and you can use one hand on the wall to help steady yourself a little bit while you get a little bit stronger and more used to balancing. So wherever your foot is on your leg, press the foot into the leg and then press your leg right back into the foot. So it's sort of this seal pushing in. This is tree, Vrikshasana. And you'll see that on the list of terms for this practice. Your gaze is straight out in front of you. Try to find a point, it doesn't need to be me on your screen. Try to find a point out that you can stare at that's not moving. So maybe it's something on your wall, a poster, or even a spot or something on the wall. Try to avoid looking down. You want to keep your head level. One more breath. Release the foot, lift the knee, and then exhale that foot down. Both feet are down. Reach your arms by your sides. Tadasana. Take a breath in. And let that breath go. Reach your arms up and overhead. Interlace the fingers. Index fingers stay extended. Reach up and over to the right. Inhale back up tall. Reach up and over to the left. Inhale, center, open your arms. Take your hands behind you. Interlace the fingers here. Interlace all of them this time. Now try to pull your palms towards each other, shoulder blades together, and open the front of the chest. Gaze comes up. Bend your knees just a little bit. Stay here or fold forward. Hands reach up and overhead. Relax the head heavy as you fold. If it's too much for your arms to reach up, just keep your hands at your low back. One more breath wherever you are. Now bend your knees, bring your hands to your low back, roll your way back up, release your fingers, and come back to Tadasana. Arms reach up, inhale. Anjali Mudra on your exhale, hands to heart center. Shift weight into the left foot. Pull the low belly in, lift the right knee. Open that leg out to the side. Foot comes to ankle, calf, or thigh for Vrikshasana, tree. Now on this side, you're welcome to keep your hands at heart center like we did on the first side, or maybe you'd like to experiment with a different arm position. Your arms can reach up, maybe into a V, or cactus or goalpost arms. Maybe your limbs of your tree even sway a little bit. Arms can reach out to the side. It's really your choice here. Two more full breaths. Press the foot into your leg. Press the leg into your foot. Bring your hands back to your heart. Lift the knee and step the foot down. Inhale here. And exhale. Sweep your arms out and up and overhead. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold, dive the chest. Come up halfway, finding a long spine. On your exhale, fold. Walk your feet back to downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. And let that breath go. Gently lower your knees to the mat. And just have a seat however is comfortable for a moment. So from here, we are going to learn another way to lower to our mats. So you would use this in place of knees, chest, chin, or Ashtangasana. So the posture we're going to learn now is Chaturanga Dandasana. Often teachers will just say Chaturanga, but the full name is Chaturanga Dandasana. There's another posture that is just Dandasana that we'll also do. It's much easier than Chaturanga Dandasana. So you're going to need to grab your strap. And just sit however is comfortable for a moment. Take your strap, unroll it if it was rolled up, and you're going to need to make a loop in it. So if you don't have a regular yoga strap, hopefully you have something that you can form into a big loop. If you don't have any strap at all, this is going to be tougher for you first to try this, but you can still be done because the real asana isn't done with the strap. If you have your strap, take the end through both D rings if you have this type. You want your loop to be of the size that if you put your arms through it, your arms will stay shoulder width apart. So strap goes through both D rings, and then to make it tight, you're going to loop over the first and under the second D ring. My strap is a little stiff. There we go. So then you should have a loop that will stay when you pull on it a little bit. So then put your arms through it. You want your strap right above your elbows, and if you pull out a little bit, it will keep your elbows right under your shoulders. So if you see mine's actually a little big because my elbows are reaching out wide, so I'm just gonna tighten it up a little bit. That's better. So the reason why we're using the strap is just to make it a little bit easier to find our body position in Chaturanga, and then we'll take the strap away and see if we can do it without it. So this isn't going to be super comfortable with your strap, but it is going to help strength-wise for a little bit. So strap is directly above your elbows, and this is basically the position your arms are gonna be once you're on your mat in a minute. 90-degree angle through my arms, and I wanna keep elbow in line with wrist and in line with shoulder. So a nice little L shape. So take a watch me do this first, and then I'll walk you through it. You're going to come to table first. Make sure your hands are right under your shoulders. And then you're gonna lean forward so your shoulders come forward of your wrists. And then bend your arms and try and form a 90-degree angle. Elbows are right over wrists. Shoulders are even with my elbows, so I'm not dipping too far forward here. I'm staying in that 90 degrees, and then I'm gonna push myself right back up. And we'll try that again. And if that works okay for you, then you'll move on to on your feet. If that is super hard, you'll just stick with this on your knees. Your strap is hopefully going to land on your ribs right here. It's not super comfortable, and depending on your body shape and size, and if you have a chest that's getting in the way, it might not be landing quite there. But the idea is that your strap can take some of the weight of your upper body, so it makes it a little bit easier to do Chaturanga for right now. So go ahead and come on up to this position and try this with me. So from table, you might walk your knees back just a couple inches, so you're in a little bit longer table, and then shift your shoulders really far forward as you bend your arms, because you want to keep elbows over wrists. And kind of take a look, see if it looks like you're doing it. 90-degree angle, or a little less. You don't want to go more, but it's okay to go less. 90-degree angle, elbows over wrists. And then push yourself back up. If you have a mirror, you could do this and look sideways in to see if you're hitting that shape. That's a great idea. Or set up your phone to videotape you to really see if you're getting into the correct 90-degree angle. You want to avoid letting your elbows come back this way because it's super hard to try and hold your balance if you get elbows behind your wrists. So you really want to make sure you shift your shoulders really far forward as you start to bend. Now, if you did that okay, we're going to move on to the full chaturanga, but with our strap on our feet. So you're coming from plank this time. Lift the knees, push-up position. Shift your shoulders forward, bend your arms, see if you can find that 90-degree angle. And then push yourself back up and rest a moment. So the important things to think about here is what the rest of your body is doing now. So as you bend to that 90-degree angle, you want to make sure your belly's lifting up. It's not sagging here. Also, you're not sticking your butt up in the air. You're in a nice straight line, hips are tucked under, shoulders are shifted forward, and you're not going below 90. And then press your way back up and rest. Now for a lot of us, that's going to be really challenging to do. So try it so you can see where that 90-degree angle is, but then know if that was super hard with your strap, you're going to stick to knee chaturanga or even knees, chest, chin at first. If you got it, you're like, all right, I think I have it. Put your strap away, off to the side, and now try it without the strap. You can still try on your knees first, then on your feet. So from that table or knee plank, shift forward, shoulders come forward, bend to your 90, and then push it back up. And then maybe you just try that one more time, or try it on your feet. Plank, shift forward, lower to that 90, and then push yourself back up. Now if you can get there on your feet, but then you can't push back up, that's okay. You can drop your knees at that point. Because really, this is gonna flow into something else. We're just introducing this shape right now. So go ahead and take your big toes together, take your knees wide this time, and take a wide-kneed child's pose. Take a few breaths to rest. Next, inhale, bring yourself back to table, and then lower down to your stomach. Untuck the toes, so tops of the feet are on the mat, and reach your arms forward. Now you're gonna keep the back of your neck long, so you should be looking down. I'm moving a little bit just so my sound will project a little better and you'll be able to hear me. But ideally, you'll be here. Now on your inhale, you're gonna reach your right arm and your left leg up off the mat. Exhale to lower them down. Now switch sides. Left arm, right leg lifts and lowers. Switching again, right arm, left leg lifts and lowers, and switch, lift and lower. Now sweep your hands back by your hips. From here, you're gonna reach your chest and your legs up off the mat. Inhale, reach up. Fingers pull towards your heels. And think about getting longer from head to toe, more than just reaching up. You want to avoid your chest reaching back, but instead keep the neck long, keep the head long. Take one more breath here. And then as you lower, stack your hands and either rest your forehead on your hands or you can turn your head to one side, whichever's more comfortable. So this back bending shape is called locust. The full shape with chest and legs lifted up. What we did right before that was just preparatory back bends to get those muscles a little used to what they were going to be asked to do. If you have your head turned to one side, go ahead and switch it to the other side to stay even. And then next, inhale, lift your head, pull your hands under your shoulders, and then push up to hands and knees. So now we're ready to learn upward facing dog, which is going to be another back bend choice in our sun salutations. So the first back bend we've already learned is cobra, and that remains a choice forever throughout this course and beyond if you continue to do yoga beyond this course, which I hope you do. Upward facing dog is just a different back bend, and there are different reasons why you might want to do one or the other, and we'll talk about them a little bit. But know that you always have the choice between the two. Even if in a video I say upward facing dog, you can still do cobra. If I say cobra, you can still do upward facing dog. Now I would recommend at the start of practice, always start with cobra to start to get your muscles a little warmer, get your upper back used to going into extension. At least do a few rounds of cobra, then if you want to move to upward facing dog, you can. So the shape of upward facing dog, your hands are going to be right under your shoulders, and your tops of your feet are going to be pressing into the mat. So think about cobra first. In cobra, you're laying down and really belly, hips, all the way down your legs is touching the mat. And your arms are going to be still bent. You're using the back muscles to lift you rather than your arms to press you. In up dog or upward facing dog, you're using your arms a lot more. Your arms are going to come all the way straight. You're only going to be the tops of your feet on the mat, so my legs and hips are lifted. And then I'm going to pull my shoulders down and pull my chest through my arms. My gaze is forward. So it's important that the chest is through the arms. You don't want to end up here with your chest behind your arms. This shape is just going to put a lot of pressure on the low back, and you're not able to lift up as you would in regular up dog or in correct up dog. Here, my belly's lifting my hips up. I'm pulling my chest forward. So go ahead and give this a try if you're not here already. Really pull the shoulders back and down. Low belly is engaged. Now land your knees, shift your hips back. And you can hang out on table for a minute, or you can have a seat, whatever's comfortable. So reasons why you might want to choose one or the other, cobra or upward facing dog. Cobra is going to be a more gentle back bend. So if you don't have a lot of extension in the upper back, it's a good one for you. It's also going to work the muscles more because you're using those erector spinae to lift the chest forward and up. So it's going to give them a good workout. It also puts no pressure on the wrists. So if you have wrist issues, cobra's a good choice. Reasons why you might want to do upward facing dog. It gives you a little more of an arm workout on the triceps because eventually you're going to be coming from chaturanga into upward facing dog. It does enable you to get a little more of a back bend as you're pulling the chest through. It's also a little more core because you have to use your low belly to lift your hips and your body up off the mat and to support your lower back. Now, if you feel pain in your lower back doing upward facing dog, that means you're either not engaging your core enough or something's wrong in your positioning. So come out, make sure you're doing everything correctly. Try again. If you still feel that, it means some part of you is not quite ready for that one. So go back to cobra. I already mentioned if upward facing dog just kills your wrists, go back to cobra. Maybe every once in a while you do an upward facing dog, but waiting until your wrists start to get a little stronger with more down dog and other things would also be a good option. So there are different reasons. A lot of people think, well, cobra is sort of the beginner level and then upward facing dog is more advanced. But that's not necessarily true. You might want to do cobra because it's actually going to work those back muscles more. Upward facing dog isn't going to work all the muscles along the back of the spine very much. It's going to get some up around the shoulder blades from that pulling back and down, but it's not going to be as much as cobra gets from the lift. So in some ways, cobra is more advanced if that's what you're going for. So know that you can pick either or, but now let's try to put some stuff together. So we're gonna try and put chaturanga and upward facing dog together. If one of those is absolutely not working for you today, knees, chest, chin, and cobra is a great option, which you've already done. So you can definitely do that now if chaturanga and up dog don't work, but let's try it. So come on to hands and knees, and we're gonna get ready for plank. So tuck your toes under, lift your knees. You're in your plank, your push-up position. Now you can always do this on your knees also. Shift your shoulders far forward, lower to that 90-degree angle, chaturanga. Untuck your toes, push through your arms, pull your chest through, upward facing dog. Now retuck your toes, shift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a breath. Inhale, come forward to plank. Try it again. Shift forward, lower to 90, chaturanga dandasana. Untuck your toes, straighten your arms, pull your chest through, upward facing dog. Tuck your toes back under, shift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Full breath in, full breath out. Walk your feet to your hands, bend your knees, roll up to standing. Take a breath in, and let that breath go. So let's try a full sun salutation with chaturanga dandasana and upward facing dog. Now remember, you have the choice. You can instead do knees, chest, chin, and cobra, or one or the other. Maybe you do knees, chest, chin into upward facing dog, or you do chaturanga into cobra. You have all of those options. Coming back to Tadasana. Take a breath in. And let that breath go. Arms reach up and overhead. Exhale to fold forward, Uttanasana. Come up halfway, find a long spine. Exhale to fold, walk your feet back to plank. Inhale here. On your exhale, lower chaturanga, or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 full breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Look forward in between your hands. Take 2 big steps to bring your feet forward. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive up to standing. Inhale, rising up. Open your arms. Tadasana. Take a breath. And let that breath go. Arms reach up and overhead. Inhale. Exhale to fold. Come up halfway. Walk to plank. Inhale here. Your choice, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Cobra or upward facing dog. Downward facing dog on your exhale. Breath in. Breath out. Gently land your knees. Sit back on your heels, child's pose. Now in child's pose this time, try reaching your hands back towards your feet and let your shoulders just drop forward. If this variation puts a lot of pressure on your neck or on your head, just bring your arms back forward again. Next time you inhale, start to roll your way up to sitting.
And get yourself something to sit on, either your folded blanket or your bolster. Have a seat facing me. Bring the soles of your feet together and let the knees open. So you might know this shape as butterfly, if you've done it before. It is called bound angle Baddha Konasana in yoga. So how close your feet are to your hips is a little bit up to you. So you're going to feel something a little bit different based on whether you have your feet really close or if you take them farther away. So I would recommend, if you decide to do this particular asana a lot, to change it up. Don't always do it one way or the other. I'm gonna go about medium today. So try to rock the fronts of your hip bones a little bit forward so you have that nice long spine. And you might like to hold on to your shins or your ankles or your feet. Sit up nice and tall. Allow your knees to easily pull towards the floor. And if this already feels like an intense stretch to you, just stay here. If you want more, start to reach the chest forward. And you might stay here just hinging with a long spine. If you'd like to go farther, keep reaching the chest, and then maybe you drape the head and shoulders over your feet. And then pause whenever you have hit your edge and breathe. Maybe now's a good time to try Ujjayi breath again. Breathing in, making that he sound. Breathing out. Last breath here. Inhale your torso back up. Take your hands to the outsides of your knees and guide your knees together. And if you're sitting on something, go ahead and come off. Slide your prop off to the side of your mat. Bring your feet out in front of you with the knees bent. Bring your hands behind your thighs. Lengthen through your spine and start to lean back just a couple inches. If this feels like it's enough work for your core, stay here. If you'd like a little more, lift the feet. Navasana, boat pose. If this still feels pretty easy, reach your arms forward. Keep the chest reaching up. If this puts a lot of pressure on your tailbone, you can always use your blanket underneath you to help cushion it a little bit. Doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong, just means you have a little bonier bone there. From wherever you are, take head away from feet a few inches. And then come back up. And do that again, head away from feet. And come back up. And one more time. And come back up. Last breath here. If you still want more challenge, straighten the legs. Lower your feet. Lower all the way down to your back. Make sure there's some space behind you. You can adjust on your mat if you'd like. And then once you land with the knees still bent, cross your right ankle over your left thigh and then let the right knee open away from you. If this feels like a stretch, stay here. If it doesn't,
Start to hug the left knee towards your chest. You might reach your hands around the back of your left thigh to help hug it in. If you still need a little more, use your right elbow to help press the right knee away. This is reclining pigeon. You'll also hear it called figure 4 or thread the needle, because you're threading your arm through this little hole in between your legs. Take one more breath. Release the left foot, uncross the legs, and then cross other side. Left ankle over right thigh, left knee reaches away. Option to stay here or hug the right knee towards you. And you're welcome to close your eyes here if you would like. Maybe the left elbow encourages the left knee away from you a little bit more as you hug the right knee in. The right knee, uncross the legs. Bring your arms out to a T. Shift your hips over to the right edge of your mat. Bring both knees into your chest and then over to the left. Your gaze can stay straight up, or you might even look towards your right hand. If you'd like to deepen this twist a little bit, you might straighten the top leg and left fingers reach for that right foot. And it's okay if they don't get to the foot. Maybe they just reach. One more breath. Bend that right leg if you straightened it. Come back to center. Bring your feet down to shift your hips over to the left edge of your mat. Knees into chest, and then fall to the right. Gaze can stay up or look towards the left hand. And you're welcome to straighten that left leg. Right fingers reach towards the left foot, perhaps. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Bend the left knee back if you straighten it. Pull your knees back to center. Scoot your hips back to the center of your mat. And then hug both knees into your chest. If it feels good, rock a little side to side to massage out the lower back. Come back to center. Hug the knees in, curl your head and shoulders up towards the knees, and then exhale, release, legs long, arms long, coming into Shavasana. Now notice as you settle, does this flat Shavasana feel comfortable? Or does it feel like you need a little more support? So ways to adjust this shape. You can take your blanket under the back of your head, make a little roll. That little roll at the end goes under the back of your neck. If you feel a pinching in the low back or front of the hips, you can grab your bolster or your other blanket if you're using another blanket and bring that under the backs of your thighs or knees. And usually that helps alleviate any pinching in the low back that you might feel. And then let your arms be however's comfortable to you. With the palms resting up, this is the more traditional Shavasana shape, and it invites in the energy around you. If you'd like to feel more grounded, you might turn the palms down or even stack the hands on the belly or on the hips. Let the breath deepen. Notice if there's any part of you that is still trying to grip or hold anything. If so, encourage those muscles to relax. Notice if the legs are really falling heavy. Can your shoulders sink a little heavier towards the earth? Is there any tension in your jaw or your forehead that you can release? Bringing your focus in this moment only to your own breath moving through the body. Take a deep breath in. And let that breath go. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, let that breath go. Start to wiggle fingers or toes, inviting in a little bit of movement into the body as you reawaken. Maybe you make some circles through the ankles or the wrists. Just starting to move in whatever way feels comfortable to you. On an inhale, reach the arms overhead for a big stretch. And on your exhale, start to hug the knees towards your chest. As you feel ready, roll to one side. And pause here briefly in a moment of thanks to yourself. Thank yourself for taking this time to connect body, mind, and spirit, to get to know your true self a little deeper. Hands find their way to the floor and press your way back up to sitting. And just come back to any comfortable seated position. You might sit on your blanket or your bolster, or just flat on your mat. Give your hands somewhere to rest. Take an easy gaze or close the eyes once again if they opened. Feel the sit bones rooting down and the top of the head floating up. Breath in. Breath out. Float the palms together in front of the heart.
As you prepare to travel off your mat into the rest of your day or towards the rest of your week, take with you the yama ahimsa, non-violence, non-harming. Are there ways that you can incorporate this yama more into your daily life? Are there things you might be doing that are unintentionally harming others or yourself? Knowing that it's not an all or nothing, just every little bit helps take a little less from those we care about, working a little harder to take harm and violence out of the world around us and to add in a little more compassion and a little more kindness and love. Inhaling and exhaling. Thumbs press towards your heart, your center. And then the hands float up, thumbs brush the forehead, connecting heart and mind. And so I say thank you for sharing this practice.